Hello there, this is Horthy. This is the Kingdom of Romania. And this is the Kingdom of Hungary. Now today we'll be going for a great hunger. As Hungary, proclaim Greater Hungary and, reclaim all of your territory, which is essentially Burgenland, all of Slovakia and Carpathian Ruthenia, Banat, West Banat, this place, Novi Sad, and Croatia, along with Dalmatia. And of course, Banat and North Transylvania. Basically, we need a piece of each and every one of our neighbors. Fortunately, Hungary now has the tools to do so through their new, magnificent focus tree. And since we need to proclaim Greater Hungary today, this is, the way we'll go. We are going the historical path, though not really, but you'll see. We'll organize the army, we'll get everyone on the border to our first target. Yes, Austria, you're gonna have a bad day. Fortunately, Hungary has a decent path towards, expansion. We have to reaffirm our territorial claims, which will allow us to core many of the old Hungarian territories. And then we have the option to demand. And, let's just say if we get strong enough, we can ask for anything. We can get by with 2 wars. Maybe 3, but I think 2 will do. Unfortunately, we will not be going with Horthy. Horthy's non-aligned. Non-aligned is interesting, but today we need fascism. Why? Well, it allows us to justify a war goal much, much quicker. Next up, we integrate the Volksbund and empower the green shirts, basically working our way straight down to a government of national unity. I'm gonna ignore re-establish the Rongios Garda though. The Scythe cross march on Budapest, top option if you don't want fascism somehow. Bottom option is what we want today. Hurrah, Volksbund. Now, green shirts empowered. Next up, the march on Budapest. This is where it gets funny. One march on Budapest is done. We have pressured Horthy into stepping down, and he's now been replaced by a man with more drip, Mr. Gumbo. Historically, this man dies in 36, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he had testicular cancer. We're going to be spending a lot of political power. Fortunately, Hungary has access to a lot of positive political power modifiers, and we're going to be stacking them. Hooray, a government of national unity. Now, the top option is what we'll go with today. We simply replace Gombos with a different kind of fascist. That's fine. That's what we want today. The bottom option is funny though. You get to keep Gombos because he does have the most amount of drip, but you give up 15% stability and 5% war support to do it. So it's not really worth it, but it's got something going on there. So there's certainly a vibe to it. It's by no means optimal, I'd say. Honestly, not at all. So we'll be standing down today and we'll be replacing Gombos by this man. Next up, a Roman Catholic state, and we are going to justify a war goal for Burgenland on Kurt. I do like how so many focuses and benefits Hungary, especially fascist Hungary, gets our political power focused because we're already making 1.12 per day and we have so many more bonuses coming our way. We're gonna need it though. We are gonna need it if we are to integrate Greater Hungary and consume our neighbors. Now, we sway the Count. This provides us with a an advisor who gets a little bit better as we go. Count Fidel Palfi. Let's see what he does now. That will be this man. Doesn't look all that impressive, but this also makes him give you more political power. We're at 100 political power, and we're going to quickly hire Hugo here. Army offense expert. The sooner we get him, the sooner we get some army experience taking up. Very useful. Let's go up to wherever the cross points. And this leads into the territorial focuses that we so desperately need. Speaking of desperate, how's Austria doing? So another 20-ish days and then we'll consume Austria. We can also now join Germany's faction. They'll be more than happy to have us. And we're not going to call them into any of our wars. We're not going to call them in. We would just like to be part of the club because this is going to force Austria to put more of their very, 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 very limited army on different fronts, meaning we can just walk in and completely overwhelm them. What else do we want? We're going to spend a little bit of our army experience and we're going to grab political loyalty. Our stability is looking really, really bad. It will improve, but right now it's looking really bad. Wherever the cross points, now we promote Hungarianism, which gives us even more political power gain, a little bit of war support. Justification is done. We're going to declare war and not call any of our allies in. In fact, I've not even committed half my army to the war because, well, we simply don't need to. And if we don't get these guys guys in, they're not consuming too much of our supply. With half their army being on the German border, it's even better. So we'll push the infantry through, and the cavalry can go around capturing land behind while the infantry attacks the actual Austrian army. And we'll simply walk to the various victory points. Linz, Wels, Klagenfurt, Villach. I don't think we need Innsbruck, but we will need Salzburg. So it's a matter of walking there. Also, no point in actually destroying the Austrian army. Encircle and contain works just as well. Yeah, they're pretty much defeated already. We just need to take Salzburg and it's over. And it's Jover. There goes Austria. Peace deal! All I'm going to take is Burgenland. I'm going to annex Burgenland. I'm simply going to puppet the rest of Austria. Yes, I could take all of it, make my name bigger on the map. That's not the point of an achievement run, but it's mostly a matter of it's just not efficient. We have no way of coring all of this territory. There's no way for us to get the full resource gain from it, or the full manpower, or the full industry from it. There is virtually no point to it. So what I'm going to do is puppet them, stack war reparations, stack resource rights, submit our demands, and we'll just walk away with Burgenland, confirm and exit. We now have Burgenland, which is what we need for the achievement. It's also something we can core. And we have Hungary and Austria, a nice puppet working on our side, who can still do their focus tree. And there's nothing dangerous as far as I can see in their focus tree, meaning they're going to give us troops that are going to make things better. That is part one. We still need to take Slovakia, we still need to take Transylvania and Banat, and we still need to take Croatia, Dalmatia, Baka, and Banat here as well. So we have to work our way down the focus trees to reaffirm territorial claims and then do all of our different demands. Fortunately, most of those demands really just rely on you having a larger army than the enemy. Just looking at our current political power gain, this is pretty good. 1.5 per day while doing a focus. I think we're approaching Germany levels of political power gain, and it's only going to get better. Let's reaffirm our territorial claims. Reaffirm territorial claims also allows us to integrate some old Hungarian territories, meaning we can core Burgenland, we can core Slovakia, we can core Transylvania, and we can core parts of Yugoslavia. We will make Hungary great again. We have reaffirmed our territorial claims. Look at that. A bunch of decisions to core territory. We also get claims on the territory, which is nice if we want to justify more war goals. And if we do occupy it like Burgenland for the low price of 50 political power, we can turn it into a core. So this is how we make Hungary great again. Speaking of great, I have also renamed all of our divisions after glorious channel members, the supporters of this channel who carry us to victory time and time again. Don't pay attention to their experience level. I accidentally changed all templates to something else and then had to swap it back because I am an idiot. But these men and women will carry us to glory nonetheless. Speaking of greatness, we can start demanding stuff now. We can demand Croatia, and as we get more and more manpower in the field, we can demand Slovakia, Carpathian Ruthenia, and more stuff. Now, this works better if our armies are slightly bigger. So I'd say we build up a little bit of industry first, take the time to get the ball rolling, and then when we have more troops out, we'll make those demands. Just come at them from a position of strength. So we're going to be taking a little bit more time, working our way down to the Giori program. Maybe get a little bit of an air force on the way. Now, I've decided to go with the avoiding interventionist destabilization, a little bit of political power and a civilian factory. On the other hand, this is not bad. Fewer consumer goods and more political power. On the other hand, economic intervention is definitely not bad. We give up a little bit of political power and we gain more consumer goods in exchange, but we're not using that many of our consumer goods anyway. We can hire an advisor to do the same if we really wanted to, and the extra focus it grants us isn't that great, considering we're not going to be building civs anyway. We'll be stealing other people's civs. We'll also be borrowing all the troops that our beloved Austrian puppet puts out. I could mobilize more men, but I'm first going to grab the Archbishop. More stability, more political power gain, which means I get more manpower faster, I guess. I could be wrong, but I guess. We got our engineers. I'm going to work on a little bit of air, considering, if we're going to bring this campaign to its conclusion, we're going to have to hit the UK, probably. And honestly, the easiest way to hit the UK as a minor power that doesn't have an immediate access to some sort of navy building which we don't, is airdropping. And even that's going to be a long shot, but we're going to give it a try. It's January of 38. I could head down to the Gior program, which is probably not a terrible idea. Or we can quickly check out southern Slovakia. This only takes 120,000 manpower in the field, and we can start demanding stuff from Czechoslovakia. They're not guaranteed by anyone, and should we want to start stuff, it's not going to be that difficult anyway. So I'm going to demand southern Slovakia, see where we go from there. We should be impressive enough for them to fold. Just in case, we'll make sure the army's on the border, in case we just have to reinforce the point that we are definitely here for something more than saber rattling, and we can force deploy these units. The more troops we have in the field, the better. And the Czechoslovaks fold. Hooray! We now get a tiny slice of southern Slovakia. We'll keep asking though. We could ask for entirety of Slovakia, but we'll ramp it up slowly. We'll now demand Carpathia and Ruthenia. That only requires 150,000 manpower. So we'll slowly boil the frog, if you will. Next up, Carpathia and Ruthenia. Let's see what they say. They should say yes, but you never know. Well, they are sensible today. Carpathia and Ruthenia transferred as well. Let's just go for broke, and we can now demand Slovakian integration, which is going to ask for whatever's left. And we can spend our political power integrating these territories. If we can core them, all the better. And again, they might say yes, they might say no. Oh, they stand firm. Well, in that case, we can either give up or go to war. That is actually a little bit unfortunate, because suddenly they've been guaranteed by the French. Do I want to keep pushing though? Yes. They will come to regret their decision. We'll get a war goal on them, and I can probably take them on without having to call anyone in. But let's see, it's just going to be the French who come in. The French are in the Allies, so the entire Allies are going to come in. The Allies, however, can't reach me, and they cannot reach Czechoslovakia. And meanwhile, I'll quickly proclaim Greater Hungary, a little bit more stability, a little bit more war support, make everything slightly better. This is unfortunate, though. Usually they tend to give up if your army's big enough. I'd say this army's big enough. All right, Greater Hungary proclaimed. That is not a great looking color, but it will have to do. I could declare war at any time, but I'm going to see what happens when Germany demands the Sudetenland. I'm going to see if it does anything with the guarantee and if the Czechs fold. If they don't give up, I'm going to come in and backdoor them. If they do give up, I'm still going to come in and backdoor them. I just want to see what it does with the guarantee, see if it changes anything in the world. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to quickly have a look here. See, I could just pick a fight with everyone around me, but I think I'm big enough now to bully the Yugoslavs. Don't think anyone's going to come and help them. So let's demand Croatian reintegration. I have no idea if they'll give it to me or not. Usually they do. Their army's not that big. I definitely outclass them now, 100%. So we'll see just how that goes. If they join the Allies as well, well, we'll have to fight north, then fight south, and then fight the Romanians. All right, Yugoslavia, are you more sensible? Hey, the French guarantee dropped. I can walk in there now. All right. While we wait for that to happen, I'll do the Gunsmovek, whatever. No, I'll do air maneuver so I can design a new airplane. I need a decision. Oh, they simply hand over Croatia. Brilliant. It's ours now. Let's get all our armies to that front line. Stop exercising, and I can declare war because the guarantee has dropped. I thought it would. We'll declare our war and gobble up what we want here. They are guaranteeing Romania, but Romania, or well, no one else is guaranteeing them. So this should be a free war. And I can simply leave them alive in Moravia so Germany can still do fate of Czechoslovakia. All right, let's get rid of Czechoslovakia, declare war. I'm not going to call anyone in. I don't want to ruin it for Germany. With my number of units and the air, we should be able to make this work. And we're also coming in from an angle where their forts are not really going to help them out. Now, there goes a good portion of their army. Yeah, we'll have trouble breaking places like Bratislava. They have level 7 forts, and my divisions are honestly not that great. But wherever they don't have forts, we should be able to penetrate, make our way through. We're slowly eking out air superiority. Fighters are doing their job. All right, air maneuvers. Let's expand the Gunsmovek. I gotta make our way into the soft-ish underbelly of Czechoslovakia. I do hope that fate of Czechoslovakia doesn't ruin things for us. Meanwhile, I can start reintegrating more lands that we now occupy. All right, we've made it into the squisher parts of Czechoslovakia, and if there's no forts in the way, things get a lot easier. We'll slowly dismantle their army, kill their units, keep pushing. Couple more days. At least we've got full encirclement encirclement of the Czechoslovak army around Bratislava, so they're cooked. Now just make our way up north into Praha or Prague or whatever you want to call it. And Brno is now ours as well. So we're definitely winning the war relatively easily. Question is, can we win it quickly enough? Gansmovek expanded. We'll now do the Győr program and then make Magyar whatever known. Oh, we got Bratislava. Great, great. We can now core it. We've got all of Slovakia under our occupation, and we'll see what happens. Well, Germany declared war on the Czechoslovak Republic. I guess they said no. Well, that's it for you guys. Still, we're gonna walk away with what we want, really. We got claims, we got cores. We can make the peace deal very easy on us. It doesn't really matter. Now, this does slightly weaken Germany, but not much. They still get the cores on the Sudetenland because Czechoslovakia did give that up. They're just gonna lack the compliance in Bohemia and Moravia. As long as the Allies don't join this, we're fine. And there goes Prague. War over. Peace deal. All right, let's just take the stuff we came here for, which is just Slovakia. Anything else really doesn't matter. We do have the score to potentially puppet them if we were so inclined. It would further weaken the Germans, but do we care about the Germans? Not really. There we go. Let's puppet all of it. Add war reparations, resource rights, confirm and exit. We got our cores and we got a nice little puppet out of it, the Hungarian Czechoslovakia under. Wow, that man's angry. So we have slightly weakened Germany, yes, but on the whole, it doesn't really matter. I will now put our troops on the Romanian border. Just need to reintegrate Western Slovakia. We'll be good to go there. Yeah, let's integrate Western Slovakia. It's gonna be wonderful. All of this is now core territory as well. All right, Germany has memelled, and I think we're soon going to war. So let's see. After the Győr program, we demand Transylvania. So focuses. We are now going to be demanding Transylvania. Odds are they're not gonna give it to us. Our army's bigger, yes, but not quite bigger enough, I think, to get the Romanians to see reason. We're gonna improve our relations with France. Reason being, the French are guaranteeing the Romanians. Now, if I get the French to mediate on my behalf and potentially join me in any war against Romania, that completely invalidates the guarantee and I don't have to worry about it. All right, we bypass demand Burgenland. We can also demand Vojvodina. They'll probably say yes. Let's see what the Romanians have to say for themselves. All right, they almost always refuse this, and this basically leads into some of the old events. We want to get mediation. We pick the bottom option. We drive the point home. They went too far this time, so we click that button. We can now also justify a war goal on them in 10 days, just in case, you know, we could do that. Who do we want mediating for us? Choose a mediator. Now, the most sensible option, you think, would be Germany. Germany likes us. Germany's in our faction. Germany is going to make the Romanians see reason. Yes, possibly. However, if Germany results in war being declared, they're going to draw in the Allies right away. While that's not a big issue, it will be substantially funnier if we approach the French. The French like us well enough. We've improved our relations. And the French are also guaranteeing the independence of Romania. So what if we approach the French and get the French on our side? See, if the French now drive the point home and start a war with Romania, nobody's going to come and help Romania. Well, in this case, they just did exactly what I wanted. They transferred all of Transylvania. We will now be bullying the Yugoslavs a little bit more, but so far so good. So as soon as the Yugoslavs sign over the Vojvodina, so Banat and Baka here, that's it. We have the achievement well in hand, and we only had to fight 2 wars. In this case, we can go in hard and fast once again. So I'm just gonna quickly redeploy our armies slightly, just so things make a little more sense. We'll let the event run a little bit. We're gonna want people on the border with Romania. We either give up, we either finish this alone, or we call Italy or Germany in for support. It doesn't really matter. I think if we call Germany in, we're gonna have to be sharing a little bit too much. If we call in Italy, you know, win some, you lose some. Let's see if the Germans are willing to back us up on this. Let's send an ultimatum to Belgrade. You know what? I can probably finish this war without too many issues. We'll simply strike now, declare that war. Don't even have to call my allies in if I don't want to, but yeah, let's call the Germans in. We're now going to take out Yugoslavia and Romania without any allied involvement. Germany has my back. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, honestly. Let's just quickly overrun the Yugoslavs before anyone shows up to help them. And as far as their army's concerned, it might as well not exist. Anyway, that's the end of Yugoslavia. The stuff we can get cores on is Baka and West Banat. Everything else really doesn't matter. It would be funnier if I signed this over to Germany. They have claims there. It would be incredibly funny if I gave that to Germany. They can't reach it. No, let them take it. If they really want it, they can take it. I'm also going to be taking the Yugoslav Navy, such as it is, and we'll be puppeting whatever remains of Yugoslavia, I think. We've run into one of those annoying death spirals where you want a territory, or rather you want to puppet the territory, but Germany also wants to puppet that territory, and you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you run out of points. Germany mostly runs out of points, and as a result, nobody ends up taking it. But I do believe they've taken Herzegovina, they've taken Slovenia, and that's about it. So they've taken Herzegovina, Ljubljana, and North Slovenia. Not too terrible. I can still grab a little bit of war reparations here. That leaves us with a Macedonian puppet, a Serbian puppet, a Montenegrin puppet, and a Bosnian puppet. And Germany just straight up annexing Herzegovina, North Slovenia, and Ljubljana. It's fine. Now, everyone else is going to the front, and we'll take out Romania next. There we go. We got Ploiesti. We'll take Bucharest next. It's not the cleanest push I've made, but it will serve. And we got total air dominance. Just gotta take Bucharest. If they would only stop throwing units in there, that'd be great. Hungarian Academy of Sciences. And let's make the whatever Air Force thing known as well. Great. Wonderful. Wunderbar. And we got a decent amount of participation out of this. We don't need any of this. So as far as the achievement's concerned, we have what we need. If you didn't get this far already, make sure you take Banat, Transylvania, North Transylvania, and this place here that I don't know the exact name of. You definitely want that state. While we're here, might as well take their navy. I am a sucker for navies, and I am just going to start puppeting, I'm guessing. All right, so we walk away with a nice Hungarian Romania. We've taken all the resources. We've taken all of their factories. They're going to give Bessarabia away. It doesn't really matter. And all we have to do now is prepare, or not. We have everything we need. It's just a matter of just integrating the last couple of things here, West Banat and Delvidek. I have no idea what that place is. Novi Sad, I guess. And we have the achievement. Greater Hungary has a great hunger, and that achievement is done. Now, of course, we are looking to, win a war or two. And to that end, I suppose we could prepare our army a little bit more. We'll train the units. We'll make sure we get some paratroopers ready to hit the UK. We'll vastly try to expand our air force to get these guys ready to start dunking on the UK as well. And as soon as the Danziger War is coming, as soon as that kicks off, we'll have a jolly good time. Now, I'm not going to join this war right away, because if I do, I lose all the rubber, and I do need quite a bit of rubber moving forward. Now, as we're working our way through what remains of the focus tree, I'm mainly going to focus on things that will empower our air force and will give us more industrial output. There are a couple of nice bonuses still to be had on this side, so this gives me a couple of free factories, but it takes 70 days. This also leads to a couple of nice bonuses like this one, giving us an attack bonus against major countries, helpful if you're going up against the UK for that swift and decisive decapitation blow for the Allies. I'm thinking we work on our air. Air is a pretty big deal, and range-focused aircraft are actually very good. More range means you'll have an easier time taking out, or rather covering, all the air zones you're trying to cover. One thing to note is you'll want to have your air force built up by the time you decide to join the war. Reason being is quite simple. You're not going to have access to rubber. You're going to have to work your way towards getting synthetic refineries on your own, or you'll have to simply go without rubber. Once you go to war with the Allies, they turn off the trade tap. The people who have rubber are British Malaya, the Dutch East Indies, the UK, and France. And until France falls, you're very limited on trade partners. You can get a little bit from Siam, but it is limited at best. Well, looks like Germany's done the thing. There goes Poland. That was quick. We're up to 1,000 fighters. More would be better. 400 casts again. More would be better, but we'll get there eventually. It is mostly transports that we're lacking. I would like to have 100 to 200 transport aircraft available so I can paradrop in large numbers. And speaking of paradrops, we're gonna need a little bit of army experience to design some paratroopers. Now, we could go with the absolute garbage that is a 6-width unit with as much support tacked on, or we could go a little more expensive. 10-width is still not massive, but it will serve, and we'll add on whatever gets me firepower, support artillery, support anti-air, probably some recon and engineers as well. Maybe, yeah, armored recon ideally. just to give them a little bit more bite on the way down. We need these guys to be good enough to capture a port. Well, Germans are taking a big swing at the Benelux, and they've quite effectively penetrated. I'm somewhat impressed. Well, while Germany's taking a sledgehammer to France, maybe we can join this war. So we are going to join up with the Germans and suffer the consequences. At least we have an allegedly high-quality air force. We should be able to win the air war. And at the same time, we keep building out the army as much as we can. There goes Paris. Once Dieppe, Rouen, Le Havre fall, it's all Jover anyway. And we'll use our air force to do the damage we need, or the damage we can. Air force, I'm going to be putting up wherever the Brits are, mostly going to be over the channel, I guess. Start deploying some spies in the UK, keep expanding the intelligence agency. A little late to the party, but that will work out. And we're definitely trading favorably in the air. Yeah, if we can whittle down the UK's air force this way to manageable numbers, we'll be able to secure air superiority over southern England and the channel. And then we can either drop on Dover, which I don't prefer because it has high-level AA, meaning it damages our paratroopers substantially, or we try dropping on Cardiff, which I don't prefer because it's quite a long way off to get reinforcements in, or, and this has been my path in the last couple of times, we paradrop Hull. Yeah, if the Battle of Britain was our goal here, we're winning it. Oh, sweet, we have a decision to give us 16 rubber and banat. Yes, part of the Győr program, I guess. And annoyingly, Romania, my puppet, has decided to just give up Bessarabia. They keep doing it. It may look like Romanian land, but it's not. Stop giving it away. Right, so we have everything laid out here. I have 8 paratrooper divisions ready to hit Hull and the area around Hull, trying to seize the airbase there as well. Hopefully it will work out. I have 3 wings of 100 transports each. They should be able to make this work, I hope. Air Force has secured a total air superiority over the British Isles. I'm not able to fully reach northern England though with these aircraft, so I'm lacking a little bit of range to go all the way. But as long as the AI doesn't put any airplanes there, I should be fine. I can launch these paradrops whenever I want to. I'm also just about to finish carrying the legacy of Arpad, meaning 5% more attack against major countries. It is October of 1940, so it's a little late to be doing this, but it's better than not doing it at all. Oh god, Germany's already going for war with the USSR, so hopefully we'll be able to pull this off in a somewhat timely fashion, is what I'm hoping here. Yeah, it's not so much that this is an exceptionally difficult thing to pull off. The UK is much better than it was before defending itself, but if you can get enough troops in, you can still defeat them relatively easily. The problem is naval supremacy is virtually impossible to achieve now as a minor power unless you have a quick way of finding yourselves with a fleet, which in hindsight I could do by eating Vichy France. This results in you needing to use air power and paratroopers. And paratroopers are a bit of a coin flip when it comes to this. A lot of people say, just paradrop. Well, the UK now defends its port quite well. They have a lot of units, and paratroopers usually are not that combat effective. They work very well in concert with the naval invasion. On their own, though, it's well, it's a bit of a gamble, so let's take the gamble and see what happens. Yeah, I hope to God this works out because I don't want to do this again. Oh wait, I should probably wait until they all have full org. So just to be sure, I have spies in place to make the enemy entrenchment bonus, well, reduced. I have air power, I have everything that I need to make this work. A little bit of org on these guys and then we drop. Now the reason I'm hitting Hull and not something way closer by is something I've explained before, but I'll do so again. Now, the reason I'm hitting Hull and not somewhere else is because Hull does not have, they have 0 anti-air in the States, whereas Dover, which would be a very obvious choice, has level 5 AA. I just gotta achieve air superiority for a little bit. All right, we are dropping, so it looks like we might be able to take Hull, but we're in a lot of trouble from the get-go, so let's hit force attack, see if we can seize the port before they can reinforce it. And we've also secured the airbase in Yorkshire. We'll put some airplanes up there, along with a little bit of CAS up there as well. And we've taken the port, immediately get these 24 divisions in there to secure a foothold, and the paratroopers simply hold position and try not to die for the foreseeable future. Get the motorized in there as well. I've taken Leeds. I'm going to try and take Manchester or Sheffield as well. That should allow us to get some much needed local supply, which definitely helps in staving off starvation. All right, the first of the infantry is getting in there. We've not been convoy raided to death yet. Let's see if we can hold a little bit, because the UK is responding. So there's armor coming in, infantry coming in, but my infantry is also landing, as is my motorized. We still have the air. We have the CAS advantage. We should be able to take this to the conclusion now. Let's do a last stand as well. All right, we should be spreading out. I'm pretty pleased though that the paratroopers actually managed to go this far. They've definitely gone the distance. All right, the rest of the motorized is now coming in. I am being raided a little bit, but if I can make it to Liverpool, it won't matter too much. Let's see if we can push out, establish a solid corridor that we can defend, and catch our breaths a little bit. Let's start the attack north. Let's put some pressure up there. As for the paratroopers, I'll put half of them on Liverpool and the other half on Hull so I don't get naval invaded by the UK. That will be embarrassing. And we'll start an assault into Scotland, seize more land, seize more area, and we'll start pushing south with the motorized, trying to limit our casualties. As long as we fight under green air, we're probably good to go. Yes, it's all coming up Millhouse now.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, the UK is trying to pull off a massive withdrawal of its forces from across the empire. Cannot let that happen. Have to be quick about this. Well, the drive north at least is working out. Air Force needs to reposition. Let's get the CAS over the south, and we'll deploy a little bit of extra CAS, train them up, get them ready for the fight. All right, we're in Bristol. That means we've got Wales entirely cut off, so no more Wales. Infantry there. Reposition in a hurry, please. If I can push them out of Cardiff, that is them fully encircled. Yes, I think we'll do this. I think we'll end the war with the Allies as Hungary. It definitely helps having total air dominance. All right, we're overwhelming southern England. Yeah, the CAS is doing the Lord's work here. My work, I'm the Lord.
And I'm his friend Jesus.
Now, to the north, they're actually starting to, like, form some sort of defense. The problem for them is that there is really no point in defending up north because that's not where the victory points are. The south is what matters. If they're going to throw the south, none of what they do in the north helps. Yeah, the UK is 96% towards capitulation. So Ipswich is 97. Norwich is up there. And then I guess Portsmouth down here should be it. Oh god, that is a lot of divisions being shipped in here to Plymouth. So we'll see how that goes. Also, yes, I know that's not how you pronounce it. I just think it's funny that people keep complaining about it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, I've completely overrun the south. How much more? 99%. So Plymouth just needs to fall and that'll be it. What's our contribution here? 30%. So we've got a lot of contribution for shooting down enemy planes. Yeah, winning the air war has definitely helped us out considering how late to the party we were. And there goes the United Kingdom. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Is there anything we kind of want to take? We don't really have any claims or cores. I would like a navy. Well, there goes the Allies. We didn't really get all that much. I mostly went for Hungary and Poland, considering, you know, we border it. It's a nice slice of territory. Germany could have Gotenhafen, Danzig, and Posen, so I left those slices for Germany, took the rest of Poland for myself. Didn't really want to fight them over anything else to make the borders even worse, but what I did get is a magnificent, truly magnificent navy. These are all of the world's navies, well, allied navies, now in our hands. Combined with our massive air force and our competent army, we should not have too many difficulties overrunning, defeating the Soviet Union. So we'll put some work into that, and then we can end this run on a win. I'd say this has been very enjoyable so far. And Germany's decided to start a war. Great. I guess we'll just follow up then. Well, time to assist our German brothers then. Let's just get involved in here. It shouldn't be too difficult to get anything done. I have very high hopes that this will be a relatively easy war. It usually is. The Soviets are not that powerful. I should have all the air power I need to make this go away really quickly. And fortunately, the memeiest path is still the best path, as I'm simply driving towards the port of Ackermann completely behind Soviet lines. And no, they broke the encirclement. I'm slightly amazed. Anyway, we'll quickly resolve that issue. And then it's just a matter of breaking whatever they have on this side of the front, smash that into bits and pieces, and then get everyone out to the main front line. Yeah, that's a small pocket, but that's that bit sorted out. While I'm here, let's call the Poles in and keep them under my boot, and I will call the Romanians in, mostly because I can give them a lot of core territory. That way I don't have to occupy it. Speaking of, let's give them control of Bessarabia. Let's get these units up over there. We'll try to push to Venezia, then Kiev, and then from Kiev down to Mykolaiv. Should cut off a large portion of the Soviet front line as well. I think we have the opportunity to create a nice pocket there. Repositioning my motorized so they have a little more supply to work with, and we're going to try to push through Volyn, even though it is not the best terrain and it's kind of wintry. It looks like we should be able to take this place, and that will be a first decent sized encirclement. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's get these men to the main front, and we'll leave the motorized to clean up. And that concludes the first major Soviet pocket. Yeah, I've killed 380,000 Soviets so far. Not bad for like a first couple of skirmishes. That is the rest of the pocket control. Yeah, 572,000 casualties inflicted by mighty Ungarn. Let's head to Kiev, and then from Kiev or Kiev down to Mykolaiv and circle the Balta front line, Odessa front, whatever you want to call it. Well, to the north, Germany's not doing too poorly. They've cleaned out the Baltics. Nice. And the channel members march ever onwards to Kiev, or Kiev, yes. And now from Kiev, we'll make a push south. My preferred cut down to Nikolaev, and that will cut off the entire Odessa front line. Beautiful. All right, let's launch an all-out pinning attack, and we should be able to take this tile now. Yes, so that is the entirety of Mykolaiv encircled. We'll now drive them into their port of Odessa, and that way they won't be able to escape. Full-on assault, attack, and the motorized can come in from the north, sweep them into the sea, gentlemen. Beautiful. Oh, love to see it. Soviets are gonna bleed for this. Oh yeah, look at the numbers here. Look at the numbers. We've got a lot of divisions pushing them into Odessa. That is 24, 26 divisions, I think, in total. And they are gone? Are they gone? They are gone. Does it count? Yes, 832,000 casualties inflicted. Let's see if we can get an encirclement going here. Pinning attacks. If I take that tile, all of this gets encircled as well. Yep, that is another glorious pocket. I'm gonna have to be careful though. I'm just bashing my head against the enemy. I've run out of manpower. I'm now already up to service by requirement, which is, you know, not great. I could borrow puppet manpower. I don't like doing that though, so I'm simply not going to. On the bright side, though, I'm slicing through the Soviet lines in the south. And from Rostov, we drive to Stalingrad, and the journey continues ever onwards. And I think we've seized Stalingrad. We have seized Stalingrad. That's another accidental encirclement of 25 divisions. And then, of course, we've also cut off the entire Caucasus. That's going to be a joyous occasion for the Soviet Union. And that concludes the entire Caucasus force of the Soviet Union. Cool. Let's bring the motorized back up, and we'll go for another fun little trip. Let's head to Moscow. There goes Moscow. The Germans have finally done it. We're gonna have to drive all the way to the Urals. Yeah, you know it's a good time when even Italy is managing to make gains. So yeah, less than 80 divisions, 4 million casualties, 2.2 by Hungary. We almost have 50% war participation. There we go. The Soviet Union has capitulated. I'm not greedy. I'm just gonna take a bunch of ships, and I genuinely don't care about anything else other than got the points, might as well puppet Greece, do it for the meme, of course, and we will be returning some land to our puppets so that they at least get a little bit out of this as well. Hungarian Romania can have its stuff back, as well as Hungarian Poland. And with that, we can end this Greater Hungary run. Not only did we get an achievement, we got a lot of fun out of it as well. We end this with a mighty army, well, mighty-ish army, but a host of puppets. We control everything from Hungarian Poland down to the Hellenic state. We are truly the masters of the Balkan, even though Italy has somehow weaseled their way into the occupation of Montenegro. I don't remember giving you that, but okay. I'm suspicious now. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Hungary video. I hope you will enjoy this next video as well. Goodbye.